Hey Anthony, do you like my new shirt?
Sure, man. It's cool. Could have been better.
What was that?
I said it could have been better.
You want to fight about
Yeah, I
it?
do. Let's go, chump. Hold on a second. We don't need to fight.
We don't?
All you need to do is go to 86.com and choose from one of their many designs. Franchises range from Skullgirls to Street Fighter and even BlazBlue. And if you check out 86 through this Twitch channel, use 86.com/?AFF=4 to let them know that Mission Star Podcast sent you. Of course, me starting out. All right, so let me bring up the order real quick. But obviously one of the big news I wanted to talk about is TwitchCon. TwitchCon happened last weekend. Some big announcements came out of that, and here is the article that I'm gonna read about from the Esports Observer by Max McKeely. And again, sorry I mispronounced your last name, but I suck at names.
Look, if you don't want us to mispronounce your last name, show up on the show.
ITK how to English.
Essentially. How announcements from TwitchCon could impact the marketplace for video game-based personality streaming. Twitch CEO Emmett Shear made a handful of announcements at the keynote during TwitchCon's opening ceremony last weekend, and the general theme for changes coming to the platform was, quote, quality of life, unquote. While Shear discussed many changes that are coming to Twitch, a vast majority of announcements on Friday night were focused on improving the experience that dedicated have when using the platform as a means to make a living. Though some announcements were bigger than others, changes in small details to the streaming platform, like enhancements made to the creator dashboard and channel pages for broadcasters, showed that Shear's company is making an attempt to focus its operations on supporting the entrepreneurs who define Twitch success. Additionally, Shear explained that even Twitch's rebrand and website redesign, which came just before the convention, are geared toward putting emphasis on broadcast personalities themselves instead of the platform as an entity. And the things that they announced at TwitchCon during day one, and I'll go in order. They already announced TwitchCon for next year is happening. The TwitchCon out in the UK or out in the EU, it's going to be at Amsterdam, May 2nd and 3rd of next year, 2020, and returning next year. Will be TwitchCon in the US. Will be back in San Diego next year on September 25th to 27th, 2020. Which I'm happy because then I get to hopefully go next year, and I might stay with a certain somebody. Yeah. Yeah. So that was one of the off the bat announcements. One of the things they also announced was Squid Studio, which makes it easier for new creators to get started with a guided setup, easy-to-use templates for customization, built-in activity feed, chat alerts, and so they can connect with their audience while they stream. Essentially, what it was for Twitch is it's basically like an easy guide for people who wants to start streaming, and then actual built into Twitch website of do you have a webcam set up? Okay, cool. I see.
Basically, yeah.
Like, do you have a microphone? Like, do you have this and this and this? And it goes down the line. It's actually pretty. It's actually pretty good for. Yeah, it's pretty useful for young Twitch streamers, beginners, definitely. So that's one of the things they announced. The other thing.
Don't say young, please. That's just a weird connotation.
You're not wrong on that, actually.
Look, I don't need to see eight-year-olds fucking playing Fortnite. Okay.
That would be very weird.
Mm-hmm. I just have an old mentality.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, children. You're too young to play this on Twitch.
The other things they announced was the updated creator dashboard, which they kind of showed off a few buttons, including a rated channel button, a clip that button, which I'm very excited for that.
You can rate a channel now?
You can rate a channel. On Twitch, you can actually, after your stream is over, you can now click on the button whenever this new dashboard comes in. You can still rate people now, but you can send all your viewers to that Twitch channel and then everybody just goes onto that Twitch channel and say hello or do whatever. So
Well, I mean
That's
that's
right.
been in there for a long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
it's just making it
But
easier.
they're just probably making it
Yeah,
easier.
they just
yeah,
made
that's what
they made it easier because before it was like you had to do /raid and the fucking name of their channel, and yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Just make it 20 times more complicated. It's like, no, do
Mhm.
that.
exactly.
The other thing they announced was, and this is some mock-up view, and some of these pictures you might be seeing behind me are basically what the mock-up views of some of these. This is a channel page that we're talking about. It's basically I mean, and I'll discuss it later on, but like they're basically copying YouTube. And the channel page is basically the front page of your YouTube channel. It's basically what's going to be on Twitch. So you have your trailer of your channel, 30
your
seconds
channel
to 30 seconds to a minute, a description of it to the left, and then your videos below it. So that's one thing they're bringing in, which I'm not surprised.
So Twitch is becoming the new purple YouTube.
They're trying to be YouTube.
Twitch has been trying to get to that point for a while, anyways.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I honestly feel like that was kind of their end goal when they introduced the whole VOD system or the entire revamped version of it, and they're working on that. So like it was obvious to me that they were going to go that route in terms of like trying to be a competitor to YouTube more so than what they are now. Other things they announced was the channel points, which was basically, the thing on Mixer, or for people who don't know, on Mixer, there is a thing on Mixer where you go into somebody's channel and there are points at the bottom of the Twitch chat you can gain by just watching the stream. And it's pretty much that on Twitch. They just copied them straight up. And then they added a functionality where, like, I think you do click on a chest that is next to that number so you can gain more channel points, to which you can use that to unlock a wide range of different emotes or special messages. So it kind of, you sit down and you watch stream and you gain points, and you can use that to unlock something within the Twitch channel. So yeah,
That's cool.
the other thing that they showed off that I'm really excited for is Mod View. Mod View is a very boosted up or powered up version of being a mod on Twitch, because now, like, you have, and you can see behind me, now as a mod you have access to not only the tools they have on Twitch, but like now you can rearrange certain items on the screen. You can make this the stream screen much smaller. You can enlarge different boxes, one for mod auctions, auto mod queue. You can now, when you look at somebody's name, you can actually look at their entire history, when they made the account. It's really in depth. So the mods on Twitch are going to get much more powerful when this comes out. I'm really excited for that.
When it's going to be released?
I believe so for Mod View.
Some of the features have already gone live.
Yeah. Mod View is next year, 2020. I want to say spring. So
probably like mid-April, probably.
Probably, more than likely.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, depends on how fast they want to get it done. But it's from the looks of it, from just what they've shown, it looks very good. I'm like really excited for that.
It sounds amazing. Jeez.
The next thing announced is just like, hey, you can now subscribe on iOS, because apparently, I guess you couldn't do that on iOS if you're watching Twitch channel. So now you can subscribe.
Yay! I can finally use it a lot more effectively.
Right.
One of the most requested features that they wanted, that people have been addressing, was that the ads on Twitch has been horrendous. When you go into somebody's channel, you are automatically shown a pre-roll ad, which you cannot bypass unless you're a subscriber. And even then, I think that pre-rolls still show up.
No, pre-rolls don't show up for subscribers to a channel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's just annoying overall, just ads appearing. It's just annoying.
Yes. So
Yeah, it's super fucking annoying, and I honestly have stopped watching a lot of Twitch because of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they managed to actually fix this issue where when you go on to a person's Twitch channel, you'll still see the ad to the left, but you'll have the stream now up in the upper right corner, picture in picture. So you'll still see what the stream is going on while the ad is playing. So
That's smart.
yeah, and I enjoy this change. I think that this is great. I can actually see what's going on. As far as I hope the sound of the stream you can still hear versus meeting the ads. Kind of what I'm.
No, I almost guarantee you it'll be the ad sound.
Yeah.
At least it's a smart move that you're not missing any content versus missing at least a solid minute
That's true.
of really important information.
That's true. It's very true. Last three things they announced that's coming is going to be polls coming to Twitch. So basically, you know that you have third-party polls even on Twitch extensions. There are polls you can set up for people to vote for. What game should I do next, or yada yada. They're now going to They're now going to put that into the Twitch channel itself, so you can make it.
That's just making it easier.
Absolutely.
For broadcasters, which is nice.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, that's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be a game changer easily.
I wouldn't say a game changer, but it makes things a lot easier to do things.
Fair enough.
The other thing they announced was coming next year. It's called a hype train, which basically what this is how on some Twitch streams, like they have, a goal that someone wants to make, like get 300 subs /600, and if I get to this goal, I'll do this. Now they have that embedded into the Twitch channel above the stream chat, to where you can put the goal of what you want to do, and you can specify like subs or bits or how much money raised. You can actually make that a goal for people to look at, and it'll pop down for about a brief second when somebody subs, and then they'll show the percentage and then disappear afterwards. It's again another quality of life feature that people can use now, other than putting it into their overlay. So that is awesome. And then they have a bits auto refill. So say you're using bits, say you want to put some money towards a streamer, but you don't want to continuously put your number in every time or click a few buttons. Now it just auto refills. If you want to continuously, like, hey, I'm gonna get this amount of bits. Cool.
I feel like that's dangerous.
I know it is, but
it sounds a little bit like it sounds something you don't want to mess around with. It's too risky.
Like if it was like a one-time, just click the button. Do you want to use payment method on file? I'd be okay with that. But like just automatically dumping the bits in when you hit it, like when you run out. I don't think I agree with that. That sounds like a really bad idea.
Unless, from what it sounds like, unless they put like some kind of specific policy on it, it sounds way too risque right now. They probably have to tweak that one out a little bit more.
Well, that feature's coming out in October. So actually this month, bits auto refills coming out this month. So we're gonna look out for that. And then one last thing, which is not listed on here, but something I do want to address, is that they are starting, I want to say next year, they are planning to have posted transparency reports, because there's been a hot button topic in terms of like what constitutes you getting banned from Twitch and what doesn't. How come this Twitch channel does and this Twitch channel doesn't?
Yeah.
And they addressed that during the press conference, like an actual question, just like right to the CEO. And
really?
Yeah. Which, on the surface, bold move by Twitch for actually addressing the issue that a lot of people have been talking about. And it's been around the news cycles. The thing, though, is as cool and as valid that may sound, the thing that you had to kind of keep in mind is that even though they're posting these transparency reports of like, why this person was banned and why exactly that happened, they still control the message. So, like, will we get the entire full details of why this person was banned or how transparent they want to be? We don't know exactly. And part of me is very skeptical. It's like, they're not going to really put out the entire details of somebody getting banned, like, because I feel like they want to make themselves look good as they possibly can.
Probably. It sounds like a freaking popularity contest, but at the same time, it's like if you put out all that information out there, you just go look like a sleaze. Like, would it just make sense just to say this is what happened, like in the most simplest details, without going 20 billion pages in?
Well, if they're smart, that's what it'll be. It'll be a quick rundown of, this X person. I can't believe that they would actually release the fucking names, but it could be like X person was banned for a violation of this. This is what constituted this violation.
That's all
it.
you have to do.
That's all they need. They don't need any more detail than that. And honestly, I'm not sure they should actually be putting out people's names.
Actual names, yeah. I just say, just this person did this. Obviously, people be asking you what person, obviously, and that'll make that obvious enough. But just, you don't need to put the person's name on full blast. It's kind of not cool. It's actually disrespectful in a way.
The thing, also to add to this, that he also explained that they've been ramping up their quality control, or like, you know, in terms of like who gets banned and who doesn't, and just kind of making sure that people who are on Twitch are not violating TOS. He did announce that they're putting together a board of people that they're getting people from within the industry and also other streamers together to kind of moderate and kind of decide, does said person gets banned or gets penalized.
Okay, but how are they deciding who gets on there as a streamer?
Yeah.
Because somebody that's a streamer like at Ninja's level or Towley's level has a very different outlook on something as opposed to somebody at my level.
Yeah.
Not
So,
just
like-
that, but at the same time, would it be considered like what is it, favoritism in a way?
They would have to put them on the company payroll in some way, shape, or form to legitimize it.
Yeah.
Like they could not keep them as a contractor for the purposes of that. They'd have to bring them on as an
actual board member, trustee person. To
Yeah,
where
they'd
they're
have to bring them on at least as a
pay,
part-time employee at the very least.
Yeah. So yeah, that's and how I feel about that. Like I kind of feel like if you're Twitch, you kind of damn if you do, damn if you don't. I talked to another friend of mine who was streaming, and I kind of asked her, like, you know, what would you like to see like Twitch do to kind of really, you know, not do transparency reports, but like get better with the TOS? And she told me, like, you know, I would like to see him change the TOS and be more clear, which I think a lot of people are in the same group and same mindset. So yes, absolutely. And then the reason why Twitch won't do that is because like then people will say, oh, so if I do this and this and this, I'll violate TOS. Okay, so if I do this and this and this, I should be okay. In terms of like trying to find loopholes or trying to find things that are not stated in TOS that they can get around and do whatever they want to do.
Well, to be fair to Twitch, there's a reason why you don't have your terms of service be super specific with things, and that's because it backs you into a corner. You no longer have a flexible rule set that you can use to, especially in a situation like what Twitch has, where each stream is totally different. It's a totally different dynamic, and what could be found offensive on one stream isn't found offensive on another stream. Yeah. So it's kind of hard. You don't want to limit the creativity that's there, but at the same time, you have to be able to police it in such a way that you don't have to worry about the content that's being shown on your website. And you could do a black and white thing, but black and white means that I can go ahead and I can play in all this other area because you're not covering it.
Yeah. And that's a very tough thing for Twitch to kind of balance. And I don't blame them for being vague, because then that leaves it to their interpretation. Yeah, and their interpretation. Yeah. So like they have to be. Otherwise...
Yeah, the real problem I think is just the actual training that the mods on Twitch go through and their own judgment. Their judgment needs to be more uniform across the board. You see a lot of mods will say, "Oh, that's not a violation," and then another mod will say, "Yes, it is." And then
it's gonna just swing back and forth without actually figuring out what is considered right and what's considered wrong, because everybody's opinions are always different, but they don't know what exactly, you know, lay down the foundation saying this is right, this is wrong. If the wrong thing happens, it's automatic ban. But everybody's, like you said, everybody's opinion is so different to where it's like, oh, this could be right in one person's stream, and the other person's stream could be like, no, this is wrong. And then it's just like, how can you resolve an issue when two sides of the field don't know what's right or wrong anymore?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to find the common ones that you agree, and then there's always going to be ones that are like a snap judgment call. Yeah. But those are the ones that need to be able to be challenged, so that somebody higher up the food chain can actually look at it and make an executive decision.
Yeah.
So basically become like a whistleblower in a way.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Like one of those things of like, say, I'm on stream and, you know, something happens that's beyond my control. Like, there's a lot of ones. Happens. Well, like there's a lot of ones where like, people will be opening, like streamers will open stuff or have stuff play automatically if you donate. And people have taken advantage of that to put, you know, some very spicy material up on the screen.
Yep.
And no matter how quick the streamer catches it, because it showed, that's a ban. That's an automatic ban because of the content that you were displaying on your stream.
Correct.
Now, is that the streamer's fault? Yes and no. It's their fault because they're allowing their viewers, anybody who is viewing their stream, to donate and have something pop up. But no, because they're not the ones that actually put the content up.
They're not the one controlling that content.
Exactly.
Least.
So you run into this whole thing of like, he is trying to build his community and have that interaction with his chat. Are you going to really punish him for it? Or maybe you should just punish the person who did the donation originally.
That is true.
And one of the things with what CEO did mention while talking about this is like what they're looking for is intent. Like, and this is his example. If you see somebody on stream get pushed, is that you see the intent there. But if you see that person tripped, and was tripped by somebody, you also see the intent was more malicious.
But I don't think that they're using intent as a goalpost at this point. I don't think they have been, because there's too many things that come out where it's like, this decision could go either way based on just black and white facts. Nobody's looking into what was actually
the whole story. No one's
Yeah.
looking into the whole scenario without actually going to the person and saying what happened. Instead, they're saying, "No, you did something wrong, banned." It's
Exactly.
Like, you hear both sides of the story. So
Yes.
the problem. So from what I'm understanding, it sounds like they're not understanding. The point is, they're not getting both sides of the story. They're just getting one side saying, "Oh, this happened, so that person has to be banned." Why not they look at the full scenario from not just the person streaming it, but also the people that are streaming the content? Like, you could take the name of the person without revealing it to the world. You could just screenshot it, save it for a file, and then you could go to like the administrator or whatever saying, "Hey, can you please contact this person because they're messing around with me and I don't know why, and it's not really fair because they're messing around with my content." Versus me sitting in the background playing video games and God knows what, and they're like, doing their own thing, and something appears. They're like, this was out of my control. How is this possible? And the fact that you don't know what's going on, how can it be fair judgment when both sides of the story are not even equally fair, when you didn't even hear any side?
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and Twitch again is in a tough position to really kind of like judge, whether a channel gets banned or punished. Not to mention, like, people use that report feature on Twitch to punish those who are not doing anything wrong. And then those, Twitch sees that and it's like, oh, obviously this person is doing wrong with all the reports. When in actuality, they're not. They're drawing something on stream, and that's about it.
Like I said, it's literally two sides of the story, but they're only listening to one of the sides. When it's like, hold on, before you even ban anybody, get both sides of the story, and then use good judgment to say, okay, this is considered wrong, you have to be banned. Freaking use common sense. Come on.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, it comes down to really they don't take into consideration any aspect other than exactly what was on there, and that just doesn't work because it just is an absolute thing. And honestly, absolutions just don't work because you can't have an absolute rule. There's always mitigating factors to pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a very tough position for Twitch, and the one thing I will give them props for is that, and they said it, and I think this is more true than I think it is. But I think when they said that they don't have bots controlling the system, or in terms of making these judgments, they actually have people behind them, like looking at each case. Which I believe them in that regard. Like hey, props to you guys, because YouTube
Kudos, no kidding.
Yeah, because YouTube is all bot driven, and like if you want to repeal something over there, it takes longer and needs some
20 years.
So, and you can't contact anybody from YouTube unless you're a huge person on the internet. So
unless you have followers or anything, good luck trying to even get a fight started, because no one's gonna care because you're such a small fry.
Exactly.
Or you have to at least know somebody who has a following, because I've seen plenty of people basically do a signal boost to get attention for stuff.
Yeah, but you gotta know the person. And do you know how difficult it is to even say hi to a famous YouTuber and be like, "Hey, help me out here"? They're gonna be like, "We don't know you and we don't care."
Exactly.
And I've seen that plenty of times, and I'm sitting here like, you guys are jerks. Who the hell are you?
Yeah,
They're
and
like,
yeah,
oh,
if it
we
was,
have millions of dollars. We're sponsored by these people.
well, and the worst part is that if
Assholes.
it was somebody that they knew, they didn't know personally, but had a huge following, they would have definitely do it for them. And it's just so dumb.
It is beyond dumb. That's honestly one thing I get really sick and tired about is like if I have a problem with someone on my channel when they're messing around with it and I'm going straight to the YouTube people and be like, help me out here, they're gonna file that complaint, wait 5 years, and then they're gonna come back to my issue and I'm like, bro, I left the freaking community because you didn't even help me out in the first place. Why should I care about you when you did not help me when I needed you? It's so dumb. Because you're just a freaking little ant compared to Godzilla over here, freaking God knows who. PewDiePie, for example, because he's one of the biggest names on YouTube. He pretty much controls the whole market on YouTube. And if I even try to say, hey, how are you doing? He's not going to care because I'm too small. And it just, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, and it is definitely YouTube's, that's due to YouTube and how everything is set up. But going back to Twitch, so overall, out of everything they talked about, everything they announced, Twitch, or my Twitch overlords or purple overlords of Twitch, there's definitely some cool stuff that they're bringing to the table when it comes to streaming. There's definitely some things that as I hear Alex's mic going nuts there. That's all right. So I think that what Twitch brings to the table is I'm really excited for. Obviously, the more tools that a streamer has, the better that the streamer will be able to do said things.
Survive.
Exactly.
It will survive the Twitch battle royale of who's gonna survive.
essentially. And I'm excited to definitely use the tools for Twitch in the future. Having TwitchCon come back for San Diego for next year, I'm excited about. I've
heard a lot of good things about it from Ian. Yeah. My friend of mine, he went there and he said he had a really good time. He met some pretty big name YouTuber there, so I was like, oh yeah, fun. But he was working one of the booths, so that's all I remember.
I think that Twitch, or we're gonna see Twitch start settling more in San Diego. It seems to do really well for them. A lot of people show up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's because if you think about it, that's where Comic-Con was located. So if you know how huge Comic-Con is, TwitchCon could possibly end up being the next Comic-Con of San Diego.
I highly doubt that, honestly.
I don't know. We don't know.
I can say with pretty much certainty that no, it'll never be as big as Comic-Con.
No.
It won't be as big, but it could be big enough.
No.
Okay,
San Diego Comic-Con, as somebody who lives in San Diego, San Diego Comic-Con literally is how our downtown hotels
Downtown
survive.
is pretty much Comic-Con City.
Yeah. Like, honestly, the hotels in downtown San Diego, a bunch of them would close if it wasn't for Comic-Con.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, they make the most money. That is where they make like the vast majority. It's kind of like with retail stores where they make like the vast majority of their money at the Black Friday, the last push at the end of the year.
That's right.
Same idea for downtown San Diego. They make a ton of money. San Diego Comic-Con is their Black Friday.
That is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, Comic-Con, from my one time going, the entire, it's not only just the convention center, but it's the entire city of San Diego.
The whole city, yeah.
It's insane.
I remember going there a few times, and from what I remember, everywhere you turned, they will give you a discount if you're going to Comic-Con, like a 10% discount.
Oh, yeah.
Show the badge and get the discount. It's like, what the hell's going on here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they give you there's discounts left and right because they're all scrambling to fight for the income from the competition. From everybody there. So, yeah.
Yep. That's actually really interesting.
But yeah, that's my story for the first segment of the podcast. And the next person we're going to go to is Alex.